Hey, wrestling fans. Welcome to another wrestling podcast, our 360 Wrestling Fanatic. That's the name of this actual. Hopefully, everyone has had a great day. It is Tuesday, October 6th, I believe, 2020. We are here live on YouTube and the audio podcasts, a bunch of different places. Anchor.fm, and many podcatchers of your choice, whichever one you want to listen to. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, I believe, Stitcher, Spotify, Castbox, all those other good ones as well. So thank you for tuning in, whether listening or watching. It's always appreciated. And tonight, I'm going to recap AEW Dark, tonight's Impact Wrestling, which, just make a quick note here, I did not see all of Impact yet. Dark on Impact After Dark, so I have not seen the full episode just yet. I will check it out at another time, but for right now, I only got kind of like a partial, kind of halfway recap of tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. And we're going to talk about a little bit of news and some of the headlines in the world of pro wrestling today. That is all right here, 360 Wrestling Fanatic, and it starts right now. Let's get on with it. AEW Dark. Of course, on commentary, you have Excalibur Taz, but this week, instead of Veda Scott, they are being joined by Ricky Starks, who is a member of Team Taz. Just excuse me a second, I'm going to get my notes up here. In Dark, the in-ring action kicks off with Brandy Rhodes, with Dustin Rhodes in her corner, defeating Mackenzie Page. And then after the match, we see Anna Jay come in to attack Brandy. Red Velvet makes the save. And our next match, Ray Roses and Eric Watts. If you're familiar at all with the promotion Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, you definitely know these two guys. Like I said, I've seen these two guys in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for many years. And Jurassic Express picks up the win in this tag team match. And next up, we have the Chaos Project, Luther and Pentaco. They defeat the team of Anthony Bowens and Lee Johnson. And just a reminder, the Chaos Project will be taking on Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite as they celebrate Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary in the pro wrestling business. You do not want to miss that. Will Hobbs defeated Ryzen. Representing Order, we have John Silver defeating QT Marshall, representing the Nightmare family. More tag team action is up next. Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. defeat the team of David Ali and Cesar Bonnet. Big Swole defeats Skylar Moore. And next up, we have a grudge match that has been being built up on Being the Elite. as of late. I'm sure everybody has seen at All Out the spot where Matt Sydal was the Joker in the Casino Battle Royal, and he went for the shooting star press, slipped off the top turnbuckle. So for being the elite, they turned that into a storyline, showed where they chose Matt Sydal to be in it instead of Michael Nakazawa. And being the elite, they showed the footage of Nakazawa going to the ring and putting the Turkish baby oil all over the top turnbuckle, which caused Matt Sydal to flip, almost break his neck in the middle of the ring. And that's what led us to this match. Right now is Matt Sydal taking on Michael Nakazawa. I just like saying that. And Sydal gets the win here via submission. Good match, I thought, between these two. Definitely worth checking out if you did not see tonight's episode of Dark. Eddie Kingston is in action next. He defeats Mbadu and Helico along with Jack Evans in his corner. The Hybrid 2, he gets a victory over Sean Dean. And in the Dark main event, it is the Lucha Brothers taking on Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. And Penta El Zero pins Janela to get the win for the Lucha Brothers. Another good match here. Those two matches, the main event tag team match and Matt Sydal versus Nakazawa, definitely worth checking out in case you missed tonight's episode of Dark. I would definitely go on the AEW YouTube channel and check that out. And now on to Impact Wrestling. Once again, like I said, I have not had a chance to see the full episode of Impact just yet, so this isn't a full recap. And Impact Wrestling on Access TV, Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne, as usual, the commentators, and we have tag team action, a rematch from this past Saturday night's Victory Road. If you missed it, the last episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I recapped that show. So in case you missed it, go back and check that out, please. And it's Triple XL versus the Rascals. Rascals once again pick up a victory against Larry D. And pretty good tag team match here. Larry D and AC Romero, unfortunately, getting the short end of the stick. And we have an update from Jimmy Jacobs on the physical therapy of the number one contender for the Impact World Championship, Rich Swann, as he gets ready to get 100% for Bound for Glory, as he will face the world-class maniac Eric Young. Knockouts tag team action up next. Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie defeat Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Impressive match here. And we have the Dieners defeat Crazy Steve and Johnny Swinger. And that was Impact Wrestling for tonight on Access TV. Pretty good show in my opinion. And as we get closer to October 24th, Bound for Glory, the next pay-per-view from Impact Wrestling, I've already mentioned the Impact World title match. Eric Young defending against Rich Swann, which should be, in my opinion, a very good match. And I think they might put the title on Rich Swann coming back from the storyline with the whole injury and the retirement. Would be nice to see them put the title on him. And Bound for Glory, Impact's biggest pay-per-view of the year. Rich Swann, in my opinion, is definitely deserving of a run with the World Championship. And what do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see Rich Swann become the Impact World Champion at Bound for Glory. But that is definitely not the only title match at Bound for Glory. We will see the Impact Knockouts Championship also on the line as Deonna Purrazzo will defend against Smiley Kylie Ray. The Impact Tag Team Championships will be on the line as well in a four-way tag team match. The Motor City Machine Guns defending against the Good Brothers, the North. And that should be a very exciting match. And Eric from the Viking Raiders has had surgery for that recent injury, which took place on Raw a little while back. And Kurt Angle is going to be at the Chris Jericho Rockin' Wrestling Ranger at Sea, which is the cruise Chris Jericho does. Who knows if it'll be able to happen? Well, it's not scheduled till next October 21st, but with the way the world is right now, who knows if it'll actually happen? Even though it's still a year from now, who knows what things are going to be like then? Who knows what things are going to be like a week from now, to be honest? And Jazz has announced her retirement from professional wrestling. And EC3 is coming to Ring of Honor. And it'll be interesting to see what he does there. Of course, yes, he is back with Impact Wrestling, but there is a deal between Ring of Honor and Impact that stars can work both promotions. And to be honest, I think that's great. And would be good to see stars from each company work. And even if Impact and Ring of Honor can work together and have a partnership, I think that would be great because I think that would only benefit both promotions because no disrespect to either one, but neither one's really considered I would say a major promotion right now. And again, no disrespect to Impact or Ring of Honor, but it's just that it would be pretty hard for either of them to try to compete with either WWE or AEW right now. And that's why these two working together to get some traction would be nothing but a good idea, in my opinion, anyway. But let me know what you think. Would you like to see more of a partnership with Impact and Ring of Honor working together? And also, a second part of that question, which Ring of Honor stars would you like to see in Impact Wrestling? And which Impact Wrestling stars would you like to see in Ring of Honor? Interesting. And let's just hope that happens. And let's real quick swing back to last night, Monday Night Raw. Real quick, I just want to talk about the biggest news coming out of it, and that's got to be Mustafa Ali being revealed as the leader of Retribution. Honestly, I've been kind of on the Retribution storyline so far. Not really a big fan of it, but I am curious to see with Mustafa Ali now being as the leader, what that's going to be like. I think it could work. Will it work? That is yet to be seen. We will definitely have to wait and see how that goes. But I'm hoping that it will work. This will be good because I'm a big fan of Mustafa Ali. I saw some of his work in AEW in Chicago before he was signed. Very impressed, Ali, and one of my favorites. I'm glad to see him in a main event angle right now. Like I said, I just hope WWE does this right and really gives him, and not only him, but the rest of Retribution a solid push. And it's too early to judge it just yet, but I want to be positive and look forward to it and think that this is going to be a good angle for Ali. But we'll just have to wait and see here. And that is all for tonight's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in, either the audio podcast or the stream on YouTube. It is always appreciated. If you have any questions or comments or anything, or if you want to be, or try out, I should say, maybe not try out, but if you want to be a co-host here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. I've been mentioning I would like a co-host, so it's just not me on here flapping my gums talking to myself. And if you want to, once again, the email 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. Either one of them, either send a message or a post or a tweet or an Instagram, whatever they're called, or a DM on Instagram. That would work too, I guess. If you want to be a co-host, if you know pro wrestling, I mean, all pro wrestling would be best. WWE, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Indies. And if you love it as much as I do, that would be great. Anybody's eligible, man, woman, doesn't matter. Just have love for pro wrestling. That would be best. But until next time, I hope to be back soon, right here, Anchor.fm, all the other podcatchers, YouTube. Be safe, everyone. Remember, keep washing your hands, keep wearing your masks. Especially keep wearing your mask when you go out in public. It's no big deal. Just quit being a crybaby, saying, I don't want to wear a mask. Just wear a mask. It's not that hard, you idiot. Sorry about that, but just wear a mask, be safe, use hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. Until next time, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.